leaving the comfort and safety of a paved road to head north into the mountains along the Great Divide Trail. We are about 650 kilometers into our hike, right about halfway done. Climbing a steep and washed out path between peaks towards the highest point along this entire hike. One of the more beautiful and fun sections we've done so far. The trail disappears as you leave the tree line, leaving you exposed to the elements and to find your way across an alien landscape of rock and glacial streams. Here we are climbing 3 passes in a row, the second of which is the high point of the GDT. At 2,600 meters, or 8,500 feet, it's not all that tall, but definitely feels so much more dramatic given that we are so far north and the tree line itself is much lower in altitude here. I would say that the view of far-off mountains stretches endlessly to the horizon because of this, but unfortunately, most of our hike has been shrouded in wildfire smoke coming from the west, a hazy glimpse into the distance with giant peaks looming as shadows surround us. This trail is comprised of a lot of little connections, pieces and bits in between much more established routes, well-maintained national park sections, pieced together by cross-country and off-trail bushwhacking, across high ridges, through the mountains, along rivers, whatever it may be. The high point on this trail is just an unnamed pass. There is no sign. There is nothing to really let you know that you're there. But there is a small cairn to mark the spot. Yeah. Very close.
We're going a different way to last time.
Yeah. Maybe just tourism. When we were in our last town, we checked the weather, and we knew that something was coming. A big storm that we only had a day or two to prepare for.
Nothing. What you doing?
Walking. Up a hill.
So after the high point, we made plans to hike our way north and find much more shelter among the trees. We made our way over the third and final pass of our day and descended far back down into a valley and decided to camp along a lake for the night and hopefully let the storm pass. As soon as night started to fall, the rain came. Thunder came and lightning came. At times, it felt like every 5 seconds, there was another bolt of lightning crashing and falling down into this valley that we are camped at. And then sometime at 3 a.m., the lightning crashed so hard and so loud, so nearby, that I woke up screaming. For a moment, I thought we had been struck by lightning. I wasn't so much able to fall back asleep after that, as the lightning just kept coming and felt closer than ever. Climbing up the next pass in the morning, we saw that it had been snowing all night before at the higher elevations. Climbing higher and higher, the temperatures got colder, and as we were turning a corner, I looked at Sprocket to make some stupid joke about how cold I was. I heard a very large sound, and out of the corner of my eye, we saw a grizzly bear running away from us, off into the misty fog of the morning. For the next 2 kilometers or so, we saw massive grizzly prints in the snow. Much like the lightning, the bear itself was no more than 40 feet away from us at its closest. We were very fortunate it chose to run away, because I think we were both so cold that it really would have been hard to get out our bear spray at that time if we had to defend ourselves. Fortunately, the weather didn't stick around too much longer after that. The sun came out, everything warmed up, and the snow melted very quickly. We continued our trek north, saw 2 moose, a mother and its baby, and we began the Skyline Trail in Jasper National Park. The Skyline is a world-renowned trail. Far above treeline, hiking along ridges for something like 50 kilometers. It is impeccably maintained and well marked. And honestly, it is probably some of the easiest miles we have gotten this entire trail. At times, it felt like we were back on the PCT. So for those who have done that, keep in mind that this section is the only time that the Great Divide will be as easy as that hike. All day, bad weather threatened us further. With high winds, clouds moving past us very quickly, getting stuck in the fog, and then getting small glimpses of the views of valleys below. Sometimes on a thru hike, you don't really have a choice but to just keep moving instead of waiting around for the best possible weather and the best possible view. Both of us very excited to get to Jasper, where I will get new shoes, and we will pack up and prepare to begin the final 2 sections. As the final bits of this trail are very well known to be the hardest bits of this trail. Leaving the town of Jasper and entering into Section F. We are prepared to not see another person, to not be in a town, and to not cross a road for something like 350 kilometers. We are prepared to hike through the most wild parts of this entire hike. Prepared for the cross-country, the off-trail travel, and all the navigational problems that requires. Prepared for bushwhacking, and prepared for more dangerous stream crossings than any other section of this entire hike. We are heading towards Mount Robson, which is the highest point in the Canadian Rockies. Our hike briefly goes through the provincial park where it resides, though we won't see too much of it. Every day, every other hour, we are seeing fresh grizzly prints and fresh moose tracks. It seems like they use our trail probably more than hikers use this trail. So here we are in the very middle of nowhere, almost done with our hike. I feel that going northbound on this trail is definitely the way to go, as every section prior to this feels like it's prepared us for this. Whereas those who choose to go south have to start out with the hardest, most remote sections first. There is no easy way out of these areas. There is no easy way to find help. You really have to be confident in what you're doing and where you are going when you enter into here. Soon we will begin Section G, the final section of this hike. The most remote section of this hike and the hardest section of this hike.